To have Randy just go, it means a lot to me, coming from the badass. I knew nothing. So the whole process of embarking on Borderlands has been a process of discovery. I said, what is this? And then, of course, I went online and it just exploded. And I realized it was sort of the king or queen of the looter shooter games. And then I just went, okay, this has a huge audience. And I started to play, and I've got 2 left thumbs. And so I kept literally bashing into, sandhills and walls, but I found it so fun.
Would you look at that? A ladder! Unfortunately, my design doesn't facilitate this type of...
Well, destiny awaits.
So when playing Lilith, I talked to Morag and to Kerry Warren, who's doing the hair, and to Daniel Orlandi, who's designing the costumes. But there's 3 Borderlands. So what works in a game won't necessarily work on a woman who's shooting a gun in beer tunnels. So how can we make that work physically? And so we came up with the idea that, that Lilith needs to look sort of blown apart. And so we worked with elements of that and tried to make it its own thing, but obviously taking on board the fact that Lilith is a character who people cosplay a lot,
Legend has it that there's this massive treasure hidden in some secret vault. And if you go hunting for it, you'd better take any help you can get.
It's such a sort of a band of misfits. And we were on set the other day, and Kevin and I were talking about it, and I said, it would be great if we could find a way where they could physically come together out of necessity, fighting a common enemy. And we were talking about the different ways in which they fight. And that's really cool. I think that all of the characters, through the action, is so different, but they come together and form this strange, dysfunctional family, but not in a sentimental way that often happens in films like this. I think it's much more irreverent than that. Ariana's fantastic. I mean, she's scarily professional, and she's so full of life. The character's so full of life and so unpredictable. I think that's what is great about the character of Tiny Tina, is that she's got a vulnerability, but she's also incredibly, unpredictable and dangerous. So that's another thing that Lilith has to keep an eye on. What I love about Eli is he's got such incredible heart. He's profoundly immature, but yet has this amazing knowledge and reverence for cinema. And the great thing too, I think, he's very, very good with younger actors. It doesn't always happen. People think it does, but it's a really, really singular skill which he has. She's a force, but she's a legend, and she's one of the most generous, warm, funny, community-building people I've ever encountered. And she's a big part of the reason why I wanted to do this, just to work with her. I've watched her eclectic body of work, and so sharing screen time with her, but also, to be just hanging out with her on set, off set, has been so fantastic.
I needed a gun, so you asked for it.
Oh, look, it's been invaluable having Randy on set and having his okay with things. I mean, normally you get worried about, what does the studio think about this? Will they be happy? Is the director happy? How's it all looking? I was most nervous about what Randy thought about it all. And then when Christy came, obviously, I was nervous about what she would think, because quite literally, it's their baby. And so to have Randy just go, well, that looks, it's an overused word, but it means a lot to me, coming from Randy, the badass work. When he saw me up there the other day with the flamethrower, it was like, yep, that's good, you got it. Then you feel like you're in the right place. For people to gather in a cinema and go on this huge, exciting, visual, buoyant, fun ride, I think people will really hopefully embrace that experience.